What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 29 of the Save Data Cast. That's right, this show is almost 30, like most of the rest of us, I think. I am your host, David, and on this bi-weekly, usually, gaming discussion show, we talk news, reviews, general topics we want to talk about. Sometimes we do Spoilercast, that's what we're going to be doing today. And, we also cover Fantasy Critic, which we'll be covering today as well. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Pridge the Fridge, Tell.
Hey, I have Triangle Strategy trading cards.
Oh, those are... Was that like the special edition?
It's the pre-order.
No, just came with the physical release.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, they actually kind of cool as shit. They're for the main cast.
Oh man, I'm kind of sad I didn't buy a physical one now.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did for this reason only. Because they're kind of cool as shit.
We're also joined by the unlucky tactician himself, and I'm sure we can talk about how unlucky he was today. The Green 8-Ball Jason.
Oh my god. I don't have trading cards, man. I'm already behind the game. That's probably why we're so unlucky. I mean, that's gotta be it. The game was freaking tearing me into a-hole at the end there.
I did watch some of your streams. It was going pretty rough at the end for you.
It was hard. It was fucking hard.
But you did play on hard mode.
Yeah, man.
You did do that to yourself a little bit. A little bit doing that to yourself.
We'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Can't wait to talk about this game. It's a great game. So,
heck yeah. Before we talk Triangle Strategy, that is our topic today. Triangle Strategy review and Spoilercast. We haven't given a Fantasy Critic update in a little bit.
Long time.
So I figured I'd give y'all some Fantasy Critic updates. Let's start with games that have come out, gotten review scores. So we'll start with Zach's team, the company that made the hit game Hades by Supergiant Games. Great team name. Far Changing Tides, I believe he picked that up and it came out. Crusader Kings 3 Royal Court DLC. Didn't say the actual points from Far Changing Tides. Far Changing Tides got him an 80 on OpenCritic. Looks like a fun indie game. I've heard it's actually pretty good, but you should play the first one before the second one. Which is 10 points on
sequel?
Fantasy Critic. Yeah, well, I feel like it's a sequel, but not... You don't have to have played the first game.
Not direct sequel.
That gave him 10 points, so that was a good pickup. Crusader Kings 3 Royal Court DLC for Crusader Kings 3 got an 82, giving him 12 points. And the biggie on the entire Fantasy Critic is Elden Ring, sitting at a 95 on OpenCritic, giving him 31 points. Disgustingly high. The only thing bringing him down is that Ghostwire Tokyo counterpick, which is sitting at a 77 on OpenCritic, so that'll be -7 to his current score. We got the Fisher King. That's our good boy Chris, whose name I forgot for a second, and I almost called him Fridge there. with a slightly more
so much alike. That's got to be it.
I mean, you're gonna make a mistake. It's one of the more acceptable ones.
His team, a slightly more confident Sega, had Triangle Strategy release, which we will be talking about here shortly, getting an 82 on OpenCritic for 12 points. I believe Horizon came out since we talked about it last too, so that's at an 89, giving him 19. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which comes out tomorrow, and we will be playing tomorrow at, 7:30 Eastern time? Sitting at an 85 currently on OpenCritic. Doing pretty good for a Kirby game.
I'm excited. I'll probably get it tomorrow and might try a little bit of it before we...
Yeah, it looks fun.
Play it.
Super fun. On Carl, official procrastinator, whose team name is just Jake. he got
his team name? Jesus.
Just Jake.
Real fucking funny.
Real fucking funny, Jake from State Farm. We got Gran Turismo 7 coming out, giving him an 87 on OpenCritic for 17 points. Doing pretty well there.
New Fantasy Critic strategy. Just get racing games, apparently.
It worked pretty well for me last year. Let's see. I'm pretty sure Dying Light 2 and Nobody Saves the World were already out last time.
Those are like the earliest ones.
A downer for Carl. Picked up Star Wars The Old Republic Legacy of the Sith expansion for Star Wars The Old Republic, that MMO that came out forever ago and is still getting content. Somehow got enough reviews to get scored. That's at a 62 on OpenCritic for a -8. That's a bummer. Bummer, Carl. And Tunic also released, I believe, last week, giving him an 85 on OpenCritic for 15 points.
I heard very good things about that so far.
Yeah, I will pick that up when it's on PlayStation or Switch, is my plan for that one.
Fair call.
Let's see. For myself and Quintuple Sufficient Games, I have Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is also coming out this week, sitting at a 79 on OpenCritic. Is pretty much what I expected. So that'll give me 9 or 10 points.
That's honestly not bad. I could have seen that getting worse. So honestly, if you can get 8, 9, 10 points out of it when it's all said and done, that's truly not bad.
Yeah, and I think we covered Pokemon Legends Arceus, so...
Yeah, since that was a January one, yeah.
What else we got? Pridge and his Kaiba Corp video game division got Ghostwire Tokyo releasing, sitting at a 77.
I needed something to come out.
I feel that with why I picked up Tiny Tina's Wonderland, so I feel that in my bones. And then for the last piece here, we have Elise's Blitzstar... Oh, sorry, that's not Blitzstar. Blitzar Horizon Games. That's some astronomy thing. I don't know. Let's see. Total War Warhammer 3 came out, sitting at an 87 for 17 points. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, otherwise known as Chaos, video game, sitting at 73. Not doing as well as I thought it would do. 3 points. That's it. Destiny. I didn't think it'd be good. I thought it'd get like high 70s because it's basically Dark Souls, but with magic. Like not with magic, with like Final Fantasy on it. It's just it's very campy apparently, and some people dig that, some people hate it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's really dangerous to make a Final Fantasy game that's not like a mainline one anymore.
That's fair. I mean, the one thing I'll say is I've watched this on YouTube. You should look it up if you haven't. There is a scene in this game where someone walks up to the main character and is like, "Chaos isn't what you think it is." The main character just says, "Bullshit," and then turns on a Limp Bizkit song on his iPhone and walks away. That is not at all a joke. This actually happens.
That's really a scene?
It's really a scene. It's amazing.
Interesting.
Like, this game is so bad, it's probably good. I kind of want to pick it up, but I won't. Lastly, on Elise's bracket, she has Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, sitting at an 88, giving her 18 points. And I don't know if we covered Sifu, but she's got that, and that's sitting at an 80 for 10 points. In terms of stuff that has been picked up, there has been a lot of action. Actually, let me rephrase that. There's been a lot of action in February. I'm trying to remember when we last talked about it. I'll go back to February 12th. That seems reasonable. I feel like it's been like a month plus. Let's see. In February, let's see. Who is that? That's Pridge. Kaiba Corp.
Yeah.
I hate that it uses the publisher names. I'm like, who are these people? So Pridge dropped the unannounced Mario Kart because they announced the DLC tracks.
The DLC instead. The rumors that there was new Mario Kart were correct. What it was not a new game. It was just DLC.
That's
rough.
Yeah, I felt bad for you on that one. That's rough. We got Jake is Carl making moves. He picked up that Star Wars thing that didn't go well for $5. I'm sorry, Carl, that was a waste of $5. He also picked up 2 Point Campus though for $5, which those games are kind of fun. I don't know how they review, but they are pretty fun. We have Pridge picking up The Last of Us 2 or Last of Us Factions 2 for your unannounced game.
Oh, yeah, I just picked it up for unannounced. Yeah. I needed something to fill that slot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a decent bet. After the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games got announced, I dropped Koromon to pick those up because I don't know if enough people will play Koromon to rate it. And I spent like $15 and I didn't need to. No one else bid on the new Pokemon games. So that's cool. Pridge then picked up Gotham Knights for $10. That's probably
actually has a release date.
Has a release date, and they delayed Suicide Squad, which means Gotham Knight is probably coming out.
Which is odd because we've seen more about Suicide Squad than Gotham Knight, so I was very much expecting this one to have no chance of coming out this year, and it still could get delayed, but
it could
whatever.
happen. But I'm with you. I thought Suicide Squad was going to come out and Gotham Knights was going to get delayed into next year.
We've seen gameplay from Suicide Squad. We've seen nothing from Gotham Knights outside teaser trailers.
Being all secretive. Yeah, that's super weird. We'll see what happens with that one. And then we also had I didn't realize Zach spent this much money on this. So Zach,
did he mean to?
I hope not. I kind of want to send a message on Discord. Like, did you mean to? He picked up the counterpick on Ghostwire Tokyo for $31. He spent a third almost of his budget for the year on counterpicking.
That's going to net him -7 points.
Pretty impressive, actually.
That's like a bug or something, because that's terrible fucking decision.
That's what we in the business call a bad move. Oof.
I mean, I guess he's got a full roster now, and
yeah,
no, because a lot of those games still have a pretty good chance of getting delayed.
Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't even hit June yet, where like most of the delay announcements happen.
Yeah, Resi 4 Remake, Atomic Heart, and Senua Saga could all get delayed out this year. In which case, he might need to spend big to buy some shit. Whatever.
We'll see. We'll see if it works. I mean, hey, I've got a bunch of games that aren't coming out most likely too, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I probably do as well.
There's gonna be a bidding war come June time, I think.
Yeah, come Games Pass, there will be a massive bidding war.
Massive bidding war. I can't talk. All right, that's it for our fantasy update. Exciting stuff. It's gonna go into a lull probably for the next 3 months until June, because there's like nothing coming out. So probably won't update y'all until June.
Yeah, there's only 3 games set to come out that we've picked.
Yeah, I guess we've got like final scores for Tiny Tina and Kirby because they're coming out tomorrow. But like, yeah, there's Moss Book 2, which I'm kind of surprised that hasn't been delayed because I have seen nothing about that game. Skywalker Saga, which
it's an indie though, right?
It's like an indie, but it has PlayStation backing typically. Like the first one did.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah, PlayStation would normally push it more then. That is interesting.
Yeah, and like they had a state of play and didn't bring it up too. So I'm kind of shocked that hasn't had a delay announcement. And then Salt and Sacrifice and 2 Point Campus. That's it. That's it, folks. Nothing else has a release date until the end of June. All right, let's get into our topic, because you know what we've been playing? All 3 of us. We've been playing Triangle Strategy. So before we get into any of the spoiler section, I want to do a spoiler-free how we're feeling about the game. Did we like it? What things we liked, what didn't, other than story, because we'll cover that in the spoilers part. And I'll put a tag on the YouTube and video with like a timestamp of when the spoilers start. So, Bridge, how do you feel about Triangle Strategy?
Yeah, overall, I thought it was great. Again, as all 3 of us are pretty big tactics and strategy players. Yeah, obviously all 3 of us are Fire Emblem fanatics. Jason's the Fire Emblem master. All these. So obviously this is a game that is very much designed for the 3 of us.
Was it Final Fantasy Tactics Advance made it to like top 4 on that IGN chart we did?
God, the IGN chart. Oh,
I have an idea for the next Save Data cast that is gonna be that, but probably more chaotic. So stay tuned.
Overall, as a tactics game, I thought it was great. I think again, each character is unique enough where there's a lot of situations. It's fun to try out each different character. It's fun to try different combinations. I thought level design especially was great. There were very few levels that felt too similar. You had levels we had to take advantage of having the high ground, of having the low ground, of needing to defend, needing to attack. needing to use, a lot of levels had some unique map gimmicks like mine carts and grappling and like zip lines and things like that. So the combination of each character feeling unique and each map feeling unique led to, again, there are still a core group of characters that came every time, but I felt like there was always like 2 to 4 who I would sub out based on how well they fit on the map. And I thought that was a good balance of like, obviously there are some characters who are good in every situation, but it was fun to experiment a little bit back and forth. And again, I think Jason on hard mode probably even used even more of a variety because he had to use, be a bit more gimmicky sometimes when these tactics games get too tough.
Yeah, I did.
Gotta push the strategies to the limits.
Yeah, I did tune into your stream and I was like, oh wow, all of Jason's characters are like level 21. Okay. He's been swapping them out, all right.
Yeah, I used everybody at some point.
So overall gameplay was great. Obviously one of the biggest flaws that I'm sure we'll talk about, there can be a lot of long stretches of dialogue between getting to actually play the maps. Yeah. And especially early, that's kind of rough because you're like, okay, I want to get into this game. I almost felt like I needed a second tutorial on chapter 2 because I forgot how to play because the gap between chapter 1 and 2 is so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that's probably the biggest flaw for the most part. Overall, though, gameplay's great, story's great, characters are good, music's good, voice acting for the main characters is very good. A lot of side characters have some pretty boring voices.
How did you feel about Sarah Noah's voice actor?
Sarah Noah is the worst of the main characters, at least.
I thought he was fine.
Oh, because I hated his voice actor.
Oh, interesting.
I did not like it either, to be honest.
Interesting, all right.
I thought most of the rest of the main cast...
antagonistic.
I thought most of the rest of the main cast was decent.
The main cast was really good.
Frederica was great. Frederica was a standout.
Really good too.
Absolute standout compared to the rest of the cast.
Yeah, there are a lot of side characters though who are just all like could have literally been voiced by the same person. And
Piccoletta, baby.
I had switched to Japanese by the time they came in. So
I should actually do that for my second playthrough. I should switch to Japanese just to hear how those voices sound.
They're a lot better.
But yeah, overall, I'd say this game sits about an 8.59 to me. I'll be curious to see whether, how I feel about some of the other story endings. Oh. But overall, really, really enjoyed it. Think it's a little underrated on Open Critic, but at the same time, not surprised because tactics games can be a bit more niche.
Yeah. Yep. Jason, how you feeling? Yeah.
So first things first, the good thing is about this game is if you want to play it and try it out, if you're not like... you're listening to a Spoilercast, or like, oh, I want to try this game out because we're giving. There's a free demo online. There's 2 different demos. One's further in the story, and the other one is at the beginning of the story.
Oh, there's 2 demos?
Yeah, there's one that came out from a long time ago. I think it was like half a year prior. You can. I don't want to say skip the story, but the Pridge is right. The longest section of game where they don't have any gameplay is actually 1 to 2, which is in the demo, which is really unfortunate. That is the longest point, and it kind of scares people away because that is such a long point during the demo. Yeah. That you're like, oh shit, if this is the rest of the game. But no, they're just literally building it so they can play off of it later in the game, which thank God they actually pulled it off and did pull off what you needed to do to have a compelling story and you care about the choices you made.
It is important dialogue between 1 and 2. Yep. It's
just
stuff
a lot.
Good to
it's
know.
Slow.
There's just a lot of it, yeah.
And they have a bad habit too of this game. Besides just a lot of dialogue, it's dialogue that is like, do I really like need the like 100% note? Like it's like a lot of exposition dumping, kind of like a guy will like talk to himself. I'm like, okay, dude, like I know you're trying to give me this information, but there's got to be a better way to do this than just fucking whatever. Like this guy talking to himself, like this is my plan. It's gonna be great. I'm like, okay. There's like stuff. There's stuff you can pick up that tells like the story. You don't even have to read about like the area, like that. A help you make decisions, and B are just for fun and flavor. Pridge didn't get into it too much, but you have choices that you make. We'll talk about this based off like what choices we made during the story, but essentially your main characters, you have to try to convince them based off a hidden like skill check where you have utility, freedom, and I
think
morality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have like levels based off your answers towards like other parts of the game, people will ask you questions, and you have like 3 prompts that you pick from, and you get other stuff like how you level them up. They tell you during new game how it's actually done, how you level them up, which is interesting. You'll get them during battles and other stuff too. So that helps you decide on what path. I couldn't go on paths literally because my utility was so garbage.
Yeah.
I literally got blocked.
Anytime it gave me convincing this person is like talking to a stone wall, I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, I'm fucked. So like
I
sometimes
lucked
I
out.
actually got barred out, which is cool.
That's interesting because that happened to me, but not for any of the choices that I wanted to make.
No, there was one I was like, I can't go here because like we'll talk about which choice it was maybe, but I was like, I can't even pick this one. And I had to go to a different route, which is fine, but that actually can't happen, which just keep that in mind when you're making your choices. I played based off how I would answer, and it turns out I'm not a utility-based guy because who fucking cares? But no, every character, like, I think the biggest part is my negatives. I'll mention the voice acting a little bit in the exposition, but another negative is I wish the characters changed their costumes in the cutscenes, the story cutscenes, or there was more cuts.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Or there was like costumes or something like that. More variety and like some of the customization in terms of that. And also, I love leveling up and getting new abilities and stuff, but my big problem with it was when you level up their weapons, which it was fine. I didn't know the difference between like 1 luck and 2 luck and how it felt for unit, like how it feels. It was harder for me to do that. I can immediately tell like, oh, if I get an extra TP from killing somebody, I was like, I know exactly what that is. Yep. But the difference between 1 luck and 2 luck, or 1 magic and 2 magic, I'm like, that's something I couldn't really get a feel for. Or weirder to get used to in the game. Like you can preview the move, but like I couldn't tell how much damage sometimes I would do. I was like, I should be able to kill this guy. And then on hard, I'm stabbing him in the back for like 8 turns straight. I'm like, oh my god, I can't kill this dude.
Why won't you die?
But the boss fights are fucking crazy on hard. Very good challenge on hard, though, I will say. And you are pushed to the limits and trying out different characters and different strategies. And sometimes it's just literally like, I need to level up and be the same level, because on hard usually you're down 1 level or 2 levels, so I usually like tried and failed, and then I would almost catch up. The XP curve is great too in catching up. You get like 100 XP if you're like 2 levels down anyway, so you can literally use anybody and catch up. Don't be afraid to train people or not train people. Train who you want and you'll catch up anybody else who you don't want or whatnot.
It is a good system that allows your weaker units to very, very quickly make up levels.
You can like I had a guy who literally got, and I was like, oh, I've never seen this guy ever. The only problem was his weapon levels I couldn't get, but in terms of his XP and like actual character stuff, I could get him leveled up pretty well besides class changing. So there is a lot of variety. I think it's one of my favorite tactic games I've probably played in the last, probably since maybe 3 Houses or Fates, which I know is saying something, but I played a lot of other stuff in between then and now. It's super good and super clean. Like I said, a lot of the fights felt really challenging, and you had to really find a strategy that worked, which I really appreciated. So, and what you were going to do. So I really like it. And there's like different, there's different like mock battles you can do, which also kind of are different, and you can try them out too. So, and
help you get your lower level people leveled up so you can use them in the main thing.
Get resources and help your level other people up. So it's really nice. So super good. We'll get more story stuff, but the gameplay is very clean. I like it a lot.
Yeah, honestly, I'm in pretty much agreement with both of you on this. The voice acting, I think, was pretty bad. Other than a couple like standout like good people, like Federico was really good. I thought Sarah Noah's was really bad. I didn't like Benedict's.
Really? I'm surprised. I like Benedict's a lot.
I toggled it a little bit, and I felt like just his voice in the early game was worse. So I don't know if they like recorded those lines earlier.
Maybe.
Or
I keep saying to myself, I will try my level best. And I will try my level best.
I just felt like they went very muted on the voice acting. Yeah, they did. For some of the circumstances in the game was correct. But for other ones, I was like, no, you should have more emotion in your voice than this. But it was their choice. It didn't jive with me, so I switched it to Japanese, and they had a little... Even the Japanese one isn't like over the top, I didn't think. It's still kind of muted for the Japanese voice actors as well. But it is a little a little higher level for me.
Shout
so I
outs to
enjoyed it there.
Chemdoll, whatever the fuck. The one of the Saintly Seven's voice was the best in the game.
Oh, Camsel.
Camsel.
Oh.
Camsel's was fucking
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, his voice was good.
Yeah, his voice was
His
good.
voice is super
His
good.
voice was good. Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I think on my scale, I'm with Pridge. It's probably about an 8 or a 9. Ask me on a different day right now, I'll give you a different answer.
Yeah. That's
one thing I really didn't like that neither of you mentioned yet was the camera. I think the camera in combat is garbo.
Okay, so did you turn off automatic 45 turns?
Oh, you could do that? Okay.
I didn't.
I didn't even know you could do that.
The automatic setting is that when you flick the right stick, it automatically turns a full 45 degrees.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
I did not turn that immediately. I turned that off immediately because it's nightmarish if you have to auto turn 45 degrees.
I'll get more into chat's mentioning specific characters. I'll get more into characters when we talk about story.
Oh yeah. We can all talk about our favorite characters and who fucking carried us.
But yeah, I thought the camera was pretty bad. It might. I'll turn that switch and see if I think it's better.
It's still not great, but my god, that made a world of difference being able to more freely rotate the camera.
There were just some maps in there where I'm like, man, the camera just is not working for the way they laid this map out. Generally, the ones with a lot of verticality, the levels that have a lot of verticality or just difference in slope were particularly problematic of like, I can't see who I want to attack or the space I want to go to. Overall, I thought this game was great. It was, from my perspective, a fantastic fusion of Final Fantasy Tactics with a little bit of Fire Emblem. Is kind of the overall feeling I got from the game. You have, from your Final Fantasy Tactics, if you're familiar with that, you have, the direction you're facing. Turns are based on speed, not just your whole group going at once. If a character dies, unless they're marked as like a key character for the map, that they're not dead unless your whole team gets wiped out. So they come back for the next one, which is very different from Fire. Well, I guess Fire Emblem does it now too, but if you have that turned on, it's way too easy.
Phoenix mode,
it's way too easy. Yeah. But this game's balanced around that being turned on.
Right.
So
God. If I lost characters, if there's permadeath, I lose this game.
I finished a map with 2 people left.
Oh yeah, I finished a map with 4 people one time out of like 12.
I think I did one that just had Serenoa at the end for one of them. Like, I made some poor decisions, and Serenoa was the only one left alive. But I thought that the balance in the game was very good. There was, for the most part, I feel like there was a bit of like, some levels were crazy difficult compared to the one right before it, where it's the one right before it, cakewalk, just level everyone's alive, no issues. And then, oh man, I had to fight this general. And they just utterly destroyed my entire team. So I felt like that, it was still good. It was just having like maybe a mid-level in between those two would have been a little nicer. Overall, combat was great. I liked the leveling system. I really liked the kudos system, which I don't think we talked about yet. Yeah. Which is basically you have 2 currencies. You have money and kudos. And kudos you get for making basically decisions that the game thinks are good strategical decisions. So like getting a backstab. They generally
attack
are.
From safety, attack from behind.
They generally are, and they're
multiple people. Yeah,
they're encouraging you.
I've read Sun Tzu's The Art of War. I'd say he'd agree with a lot of the kudos earning tactics are the correct ones.
For sure. I think it was a very good way of encouraging people who maybe have not played a tactics game to make good tactical decisions, right? It's like, hey, hit multiple people.
From high ground.
Yeah. Attack from high ground. Here's a cookie. They're conditioning you. Oh, you attack from high ground? Here's a kudo. You hit someone from behind? Here's a kudo. Oh, you did both of those? Here's 2 kudos. Thinking about it, doing both, more kudos. I thought that system was great. I thought the character viability on different maps was fantastic. Like, I didn't feel pigeonholed, at least on normal mode. I don't know about Jason on hard mode, but I didn't feel pigeonholed into picking like, I didn't feel like, oh, magic is all around better over physical or range is all around better over melee. I thought it was pretty well balanced, and I didn't feel the urge to like force specific team comps, other than a couple levels that did kind of require it to be like, hey, you should use your brain for this level. You should probably bring people that.
And worth mentioning, the game recommends certain units for you to take on a level.
Cool,
also great.
Which sometimes I agree with, sometimes I didn't. So again, good balance there that I liked.
I liked thinking of like, why would they recommend this character for this level? And then you would get to like one character. I'm like, fuck this. There's no. I haven't recommended him ever. So like, this is the only time they're gonna get recommended.
Yeah, there were a few very niche ones. I think the blacksmith was a very niche one.
Blacksmith kicks ass.
He was like, I felt like he was good. I am the one who makes traps. That's the blacksmith, right?
Yeah.
And the ladder, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel a super need for him most of the time, but that might have been who I was picking to go on my maps too. Like, so it's very different. Like, I didn't feel like, other than Anna being busted as fuck, I didn't feel like anyone else was super busted.
I've got some.
I know from our previous discussion that you guys might have some other ones for the spoiler part, but
yes.
I really enjoyed this game. I thought the story in general was pretty good. I agree, it was very slow at the beginning, and there are some parts where I'm like, okay, it's been 15 minutes. I would like to kill some people now. Can we? But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this game. I am going to replay it probably multiple times to get the different endings and see what different choices, different characters. Because I know from watching your stream, Jason, that there are a few characters you had that I was like, who the fuck is that?
So when you get to Chapter 5 in New Game Plus, you can use the Scout feature to see what characters you haven't gotten and what stats you need to get them.
I think Jason had a character I hadn't even met.
I have only 2 characters left to unlock, and I'll have unlocked everyone.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. And I will say, that's another thing we should talk about. I know we haven't gotten super deep in the New Game Plus. The New Game Plus is great in this game.
Yeah, it's super good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good feature.
They basically remove the obfuscation on the statistics for, how you get people, how you make certain decisions, what points you need. They remove all of that so you can see whether the choice you're making is on the utility, morality, or liberty track, how many points it gives you. I think that's a great system of like, hey, you know what, play through the game, just enjoy it. Second playthrough, if you really want to get a thing, we'll show you how to get the thing.
Right.
Which I thought was awesome. Along with the thing you said too, of being able to see who's on what tracks and what you need to get them as well. I think is super awesome. I'm really hot on this game. I was in the middle of playing Horizon when this came out. I completely put Horizon down, didn't touch it until I played through this game and beat it, and then I went back to Horizon, which I still like. I'm not. It's like I like Horizon, and I was just like, no, Triangle Strategy is just really good.
Yeah. And like I said, you get probably 5 to 8 hour demo for free too. So
yeah, it's and the demo again outside of If you want to just skip this, if you're just playing the demo to find if you like the game, just skip the story stuff. Yeah. You're going to get 3 battle missions, and it's going to give you a really good feel whether you like the
or do the story, and you can pull it into your main game if you purchase it too. Whichever you choose.
Quietest points we didn't mention either. We can briefly touch on.
Good call.
Super fucking good.
Yes, there are 3 that I used religiously, and like one other one that I occasionally used.
There is no way in hell in tandem should only be a fucking 1 cost.
Oh yeah,
tandem's busted.
What the fuck? How is in tandem 1 cost?
I guess just to explain what quietest points are. So quietest points are basically a limited point system that you have during each level that you play combat wise. So I think you start with 2. Is that right?
Yeah. 1 or 2.
And there's abilities you can purchase with those kudos that I talked about earlier. That let you use those quietest points in different ways. I think the ones I unlocked were in tandem, which means whoever you're controlling right now, you can use a quietest point and pick someone else on your team, and they'll go right after that character.
Yes.
Yeah, you can use quietest points. Yeah. You can use anytime on one of your unit's turns, you can use quietest point.
Yes.
Before the character does an action. That is a key.
Yes.
Thing about the quietest points.
But using your quietest point does not use that character's action.
Yes, which is important.
So you can set up a lot of really good 1-2s
and by combos,
by planning on using quietest points in a certain way.
Which is why in tandem is really good.
Yeah.
In tandem is fucking. It's like it should be 2 or 3. Oh my God.
It's fantastic. The other one I used was the single target healer one. I used that a little bit.
Restore is good. If you got a tank on the front line getting beaten up, you can just basically get all their health back.
What's the one the first one you get that costs 2? I had that one.
Wasn't that just automatic crit on your next attack?
I never used the crit one ever in my life.
I think I used it once, and that one's very niche. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I also use the one that gains 3 TP to a person.
The 3 TP one I used a lot. I used resurrect.
I use that on my mages.
People. You can resurrect people too.
Yeah.
Can you unlock that one in normal game, or does it need to be New Game Plus? I didn't even unlock it.
I got it normal.
Can. It's just a lot of points. It's a lot of points.
It was not even in my store until New Game Plus.
I don't know if I had it because I had like a certain amount of kudos earned.
Yeah,
it took me way longer to beat
well.
the game. So that's why.
They have some other ones. I saw someone in the chat mention Fleet-footed, which gives like everyone on your team to
the teleport ones are good too.
That's light something. Fleet-footed is everyone gets movement. And there's like light foot or something that allows you to warp a character.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
They're really cool.
There's one or two missions that was really helpful.
Very cool system for them to add in, because like it didn't feel as heavy-handed as like the rewind system in Fire Emblem, where like, oh, I made a bad decision. Let's rewind time a little bit.
The games are balanced around the 2 games I have are kind of balanced around those.
Yeah, that's true. But I just felt like this one was the amount of, it wasn't just rewind. It was you can do so many different things with it that you can choose, because I think you only get a couple. I think you get like the healing one only at the beginning.
Yeah, you don't start out with a lot of them. You only have 2 points. You have to be very, very...
And you can unlock more points and more abilities with the kudos and use them how it fits your style and who's on your team, which is really cool. I really like that system. Those are great. There's also the weapon upgrade system, which I know Jason talked about a little bit, and I'm with you that some of the stats are a little more like, I don't feel the difference.
I got a defense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like the defense, at least you can see what percentage of your total defense that is if you go to like the character portrait thing of like, oh, if I raise Erebor's defense by 1, it goes to 32 instead of 31. That might not be super impactful, right?
Yes.
Whereas if you get something that's like, hey, they just get
straight the number of TP it costs. That's very obvious. That's a very obvious.
Yeah. And I'm like,
that's a very obvious change.
Or just the straight, hey, your attacks deal 5 more damage. Okay, cool. I know exactly what that does.
Yeah.
But even for those, like, I didn't know if the magic users
had the book slap or
I don't know. I was like, if they have the book slap for that, or does that apply to their magic? Because their book slap, you can add 20 to the book slap, and it doesn't do anything. The book slap does nothing.
I have no idea. So,
but awesome, super hot on it. I think it's a great game. If you like tactics games, just go get it right now.
This is absolutely a standout tactics game.
And I do think if you haven't played many tactics games, but you like RPGs and stuff, I think this is a really good starting point. Because they definitely have scalable difficulty levels too. Like I played on normal, Pridge I assume normal as well.
Yeah, normal, yeah.
Which was like the right amount for someone who's played a bit of tactics and isn't Jason level of hardcore in the tactics games. But they also had easier ones, so if you're not into it, you can put it on easy.
The story,
or you just want to see the story.
Yeah.
What do you say we get into spoilers, guys?
Let's do it.
Spoilers. All right, we're in the spoiler zone.
I will put his family's dead. Got it. Spoilers.
I was just about to say I'll put the time code right here. Nope, I'm gonna put it a little bit back. A little bit back.
Oh yeah, spoiler though. That's her introduction when she meets you.
I guess that's true.
I like juggling.
I did not like her as a character. For a couple of reasons. One, I'm like, the rest of us are adults. What are you doing on a battlefield?
Hey, that's morality right there. Hey, that's high moral character to put a child on the battlefield. An orphan. It's great.
A child orphan clown. Let's specify a child orphan clown on the battlefield.
She can make exploding clones.
I mean, she was my like. I don't know how you want to start off this. Are you going to go story based or?
You want to talk about story or just talk about what characters we liked?
Let's start with some of the characters.
All right.
And then we'll dig into the branching storylines at the end.
Sounds good to me.
I
Bridge.
didn't use
Or
Piccoletta. I'll
David.
start with that one. Because she's a fucking child clown orphan. I'm not putting her ass on a battlefield.
Again, arguably her only good ability is decoy. It's pretty fucking busted.
Yeah,
but
It's
that's
very-
probably
it's
her
very
only
good.
ability.
I needed decoy on hard mode because it was the only thing I could take some of the boss's ultimate abilities when they would use it on you, or mages on hard mode one shot all of your guys, especially Eridor, who I'll talk about hopefully soon as well. But yeah, Piccoletta is actually pretty valuable for the decoy.
His
alone,
magic defense is so high, though. It's definitely not 0.
Yeah, it's like 5. It's a shame, really.
I weapon upgraded his magic defense and gave him a magic defense amulet as like soon as I could, just so he doesn't get one shot by magic.
I gave him the resurrect stone, so he just like fucking died like 5 times a game. He died like 4 times. It was great.
And this is where we could talk about our differences in character usage, because my ass used Eridor for like probably to level 15 or 18. And then I was like, I felt like when the mages started to kick in, and I was like, Eridor, I'm sorry, you just die. That is your only job. I'm just not going to use you anymore. And I know from talking to you two that he is busted later, and I should have kept using him.
He is top 3 character in the game. It's for me, it's Gila, him, and Medina. Medina is fucking nuts.
Medina's the one who's an item expert?
Item specialist.
She really sucks at the beginning. She's one of the worst characters in the game at the beginning, but she's actually probably the best character once you scale with. She actually becomes super uncrazy broken towards the end of the game. She might be the best character in the game.
Yeah, so. Probably top 3 were Anna. That's so tough though, because I mean, like, I got to a point where Frederica could almost one shot with blazing chains, which is unreal. And if she gets a kill, she gets a TP back. Yeah. So if she's constantly as the last hitting, she's literally killing a character per move, which is bonkers. I mean, yeah, no, Eridor is insane. I think he has one of the 2 best the weapon skills I've seen. I think he has one of the 2 best ones.
What is his do?
It's fucking crazy. He taunts everybody.
He taunts everyone, but he's invincible until his next turn.
His next turn. It's fucking crazy. So you
just I should have leveled up Eridor.
I taunted 5 people, and they all just do 0 damage to him, but he still counters back.
Yeah. So yeah, he also the taunt is 100% too, in my opinion. Except for maybe bosses, I can't remember.
Yeah, outside of bosses who have the natural resist.
It did not hit 100%. I guarantee you that.
The taunt on that ultimate ability is 100%. It always hits. So they always will be taunted.
As I say, the other one doesn't, because there were some times I felt like the unlucky tactician with fucking Eridor.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's 4 people, get up there and taunt. You missed all of them.
The top 3 in terms of gameplay, I'll do my 3 in gameplay, and then I'll do a bonus character, and then for gameplay, and then I'll go character stuff more when we talk about story. So it's Eridor for that ultimate ability, provoking, taunting, just a lot of damage on the counter attack too. Super good. And he's got like moving people. He's got good movement with sprint. Actually,
abilities that knock back, especially on certain levels, are insane. You can do 100+ damage by knocking someone off like a cliff or something.
Jason, if you haven't gift out that clip of you on the
oh my god
the level that's just like the big centerpiece. With surrounded by a pit of spikes
first and kill me. Yeah.
When dude's just like, boom, 3 people fall, die
immediately.
I know that exactly what too, and I did not know the wind mages could push you back.
No, I didn't. I didn't fucking know that, man.
Is there real quick question?
You get like 3 units just dead.
Real quick question.
They all died.
Are there any characters you can get that know that move?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know about that move. No.
Because I know I got some that have wind moves, but none of them push back, and I'm like, where the fuck is this magic? I want it.
Yeah, I have Narv and Izana, but they just have the one that changes your direction. Yeah. They don't. Theirs doesn't push you back.
No. So not yet. Maybe. Gila was important on late game because the problem with like late game hard is you just die, and like 3 or 4 hits, like at best. At best, if your name is not Eridor, especially to Magic.
Also,
So, like,
if you just do straight normal New Game Plus and your characters are not leveled up to the recommended level, that's also what happens.
Yeah. So you need Gila's ultimate ability, which is to give somebody a free resurrect at their discretion. It's not like they have to die next turn. You just pile up your team with resurrect spells, and then I didn't even use haste. I would just literally put resurrect on everybody. So Eridor would have 3 resurrects. Yeah.
But even early game, the fact that she heals more if you're under 50% HP just means that she can save. And again, that's a 1 cost. And that's just so important early game.
Can we talk about 1 second? How the fuck is her name Gila and not Gila?
I don't know, man. They do that a lot. And Desmain and fucking Jail, Gala, whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, Desmond is Domain. And I was like, excuse me? I am glad I played on English first and then switched to Japanese strictly because I learned that some of those words were not what I would have thought they were if I read them. They spell jail, Gaol.
Yep.
I would not have known what the fuck they were talking about.
Yep. And then last one I want to talk about, and then I'll talk about the bonus character, is Medina. Like I said, Medina gets super shitty at the beginning. I'm like, this character fucking sucks. She throws my health pellets. I don't have any money. But once you start getting money, and specific called ranged HP health pellet, which she gets an ability called TP Physic, which gives everybody a TP, and she can use double items. So she stands in the middle of 5 people, which the thing can hit. You hit 5 squares of double TP. You give 2 PP to everybody in that 5 square.
Should have used Medina too.
And then you can in tandem and do it again.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers.
Or get Benedict to make her go again too, but you know, Benedict fucking left me because he's a clown. But essentially, you can get her to do like, she's like Julio, but actually good. And people overrate Julio. I can't wait to fucking shred this guy because he's not that good.
I really liked Julio on normal. I don't know about hard, but on normal he was great.
His job. Medina does his job.
I did not use Julio.
Just smoke grenades down fucking TP physics, ranged HP, and then they can Eridor and Gila were just pumping out their ultimates like 24/7. It's super good. And you could also pair it with the TP one giving as well, and you just get like 3 resurrects out to like everybody. The last bonus character I want to talk about in terms of gameplay, how strong they are, is Ana. She's really good. She definitely starts falling off towards the late game, but her movement allows you to kind of distract people. You pull them there, maybe not take like 1 and then make them go over here and then stealth and like hide. So you just tank that way by pulling people away from the rest of the crowd.
She also dodges like a motherfucker sometimes too. Yeah.
And XP generator because she stabs twice and she helps.
Yeah, because she moves twice, she will often be the highest level person on your team just by nature of always attacking twice
and helping other people get XP. And she gets slumber stab and poison, 2 really key abilities. And then mention Huette, but Huette's a fucking bae for also her support as well. So just really good characters right there. Those are my guys, and then various bonus characters based off how you would play. But I should have did them instead because everybody's going to use the main characters, I think. So
I mean, I thought Sereno overall as just a pure DPS was pretty good. He did a shitload of damage when
he's very balanced.
He's good. Yeah. Same with
if you go to your roster and scroll through your stats, he should be top 5 or 6 in every single stat.
Yeah,
he's insanely balanced.
He's good. I don't know what was up with my Serenoa. Maybe it was just Jason Incarnate as a character in my video game.
Oh god,
motherfucker would not hit.
That was Roland for me. Roland missed a lot.
Roland missed way too often.
There was a period of time where Serenoa, I did 4 hawk dives in a row, and all of them missed. With an 85% hit chance or higher. And I was just like, please stop Serenoa. Other than that, I thought he was really good. I thought Roland was good up until story spoilers that we'll get to in a minute. Which also does affect your New Game Plus. Characters will leave your group and they will start New Game Plus under-leveled, which hurts when they join you in the middle of the level and then get fucking 2-shot.
Especially that first level of New Game Plus, because you only have 5 units and one of them is going to be under-leveled.
One of them's like level 20, and the rest are like level 30-something.
Poor guy.
I thought Roland was good. I was a little, and by a little I mean very disappointed by how bad Maxwell was.
It's Maxwell. Oh.
Did you guys get Maxwell?
Oh, I know what
No.
you're talking about. Yeah, I did.
Sir
I did.
Maxwell?
Sorry. Yes,
Rather?
I did. I was mad because I couldn't level up his weapon, so I never got the chance to really fully use him. Because somebody else used his fucking thing.
The Electrum.
His,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, if I had known I got this guy, I would have saved the Electrum, but I literally gave it to like somebody else.
Wait, wow, what fucking decision did I make where I didn't get Maxwell back?
I don't know. You can get him though. Spoilers.
Maxwell.
I expected that because we'll talk about a story. Come on, I knew.
Maxwell's pretty good. It's just he needs to be up to like level 33.
I thought he was a fine replacement for Roland, but that Roland was significantly better.
Yeah, Rowan's pretty good. Rowan does a lot of damage. Yeah,
but like he was fine. I didn't hate him, but yeah, I had some of the same issues where like I had spent so much of the game updating Roland, and then Maxwell came along, and I was like, oh, I want to update you. Too bad I used all your resources on Roland.
Yep, that's exactly what happened to me.
There are also, it's the weirdest fucking game design decision that they made. Or I shouldn't say game design, narrative design. You get Maxwell, he never talks to Roland. There's no scenes with Roland.
No, he doesn't actually. They talk to random people in the cutscenes. It's usually Eridor, Huette, and Gila.
But never Roland.
Yep.
When it's Roland's fucking teacher who he thought was dead. That was.
He doesn't give a shit. He's over it, dude.
That was fucking wild decision. That might be the biggest. Okay, second biggest story thing where I'm like, really? In terms of other characters, I think Anna is on my list too. She was a fucking powerhouse, and even once her like base attacks weren't doing as much damage, by that point I had Slumber and Poison, which were even more important. And
her weapon skill is actually decently nice to use on bosses. Actually,
yeah, that's true too.
Because it lowers all their defenses. So if you can get her to like do that to a boss, and then have everyone else follow up, it can help take down bosses faster.
Yeah, I thought Gila was huge. I thought Narv was extremely important and powerful.
Good.
What? Wait, you guys like Narv?
Oh yeah.
I thought he was incredibly important as like a flex.
He was my second best healer, and he had a great knack for his paralysis proccing.
Granted, I was also not using Medina, so
I had Medina, Gila, and then I would bring Azana if I wanted magic damage besides Frederica. Because Azana has name.
Azana's good. I don't like her damage as much.
I love it.
I don't remember
Narv's ability to use every single kind of magic was really nice.
I would never use ice or fire on him ever, which is weird.
I used fire a little bit because it was AoE, and it was a good cross AoE.
Yeah, I never used her as wind or electric. Yeah, Azana's just the sorceress girl who had rain and wind.
Yeah, she was good, but I felt like by the time I got her, she was a teeny bit underleveled, and I didn't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. This game has weather mechanics, but I didn't feel like the weather was changing that much in my game between levels. I thought it was clear and sunny.
The weather pretty much never changes unless Izana's changing it.
Okay. Because like I saw other characters had that too, and I was like, man, I don't want to level up this character now that I'm getting other characters that also had weather-based abilities. I'm like, man, I don't want to level her up 10 levels to use them. Let's see. Yeah, and
actually, Mads and Zero chat.
Good point too.
Great point. Frederica's Clear Skies damage up is way too good to risk making it rain too often.
Yeah, so which is a large reason why I didn't use Azana.
There were some boss fights I needed the multi paralysis, and the rain helped with that.
That's fair.
A lot. I needed to CC people in hard. I'll just say it like that. That's why.
Yeah, I totally understand that. One of the things we didn't mention in the actual game review, the environmental effects of like being able to set grassland on fire, being able to put ice on the ground, if you use lightning on. So like if you have ice on the field and then you hit it with fire, it melts into water, it becomes puddles, and then if you hit it with electricity, that damage spreads to people that are standing in the puddle. That was an awesome mechanic. Also, if they're standing on a metal surface, like the edges of a
Yeah, the
ship,
ship.
that had
Yep.
like a metal railing, and you hit one person on it, everyone on the railing takes some extra damage too, or
Same thing with minecart tracks.
yeah. I thought that was a great mechanic, and that's part of why I used Narv, was because I wasn't using Azana and I wanted to use the electricity mechanic a few times. Because Spark was just really good.
Did any of you get the automaton?
No, I did not.
No.
Okay.
I like
he's a Square Enix specialty. All of his abilities are based on whatever digit the enemy's health is at.
Oh.
So if their health is a multiple, he has an attack that hits everyone whose health is a multiple of 3. Everyone he has an attack that hits everyone whose health is a multiple of 4. He's not good because he doesn't regenerate TP naturally.
That's bad.
He has to not turn to get his TP back, and he's super gimmicky.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, he's a really funny little automated robot dude.
I like the archers better than the mages for the most part.
Oh, I felt the opposite.
A lot of the archers. They both kicked ass.
One of the archers you had, Jason, I did not have.
3 archers.
I only had 2.
I had 4. I actually had 4 archers.
Yeah, I had 4 archers.
Oh wait, sorry, I had 3. I forgot about Trish.
Yeah, you had Rudolph, Archibald, and Trish.
Rudolph fucking
I didn't
my boy,
I didn't get Rudolph.
Rudolph fucking kills
Oh,
it.
so you got the Ice Mage then.
You got Corin.
Yeah, so I was gonna bring up one of the ones I really liked was Corentin, because he has an ability where if he's standing on ice later, he gets a TP each turn on top of his normal TP, which is nuts later in the game.
I obviously made sure to do that route on playthrough on my second playthrough. I'm just starting to use him and figure out how good he is.
I think that is a good segue into the story and decisions one, because I believe you two got Rudolph. Did you go to S-Frost in your first game decision?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's how you get Rudolph.
Yeah.
Excellent. So basically there's a ton of branching points in this game. So I went to Hyzant, which is also fucking spelled wrong. I don't care what you tell me, Square Enix. That is not how you pronounce that. Why is there an E at the end? It's not Hyzant. All right?
Hyzanti.
You don't need the E. Why is it there? Stupid. So I went to Hyzant in the beginning.
Yeah, me and Jason went to S-Frost.
So do we want to talk about our whole decision tree and then get to the end? Or...
I'm pretty sure mine and Pridge's, I talked about it off stream, are pretty much the same except for maybe
but again, I mean, I just pulled up mine in front of me.
Yeah,
so obviously the first decision only changes what character you get, Rudolph or Coronet.
Okay, I was wondering if that was the only thing that changed, because the end of the game I could see changing based on the first one.
You learn different notes and information.
Yeah.
But I don't think, but again, I mean, it converges back to chapter 4 no matter what.
Yes.
And chapter 4, 5, and 6 always play out the same.
So you went to S-Frost first. I went to Hyzant, which was, hey, I got the Ice Mage, you got the extra Archer. I learned a bit more about the church, which seems more important later in the game from what I saw.
It definitely does, because I was not able to do shit, and I got fucked because I didn't know.
So you learn a bunch about the church, and the Roselle people being basically slaves. Fuck Roland.
Yeah, we'll talk about Roland.
We'll talk about Roland in a bit.
They fucked. That was horrible.
But then the next choice you make is one of the bigger ones.
Yes. How could you betray fucking Roland?
That's chapter 7, the decision whether to hold on to Roland or to give him over.
I'm not turning in one of my best combat units.
Yeah,
and
listen.
Fighting back seems so fucking
I
cool.
held Roland, and I regretted it at the end of the game.
No. Okay, yeah. But not the end of my game.
Okay, so obviously, my first playthrough, I held on to Roland.
Actually, for folks, if you're listening to this without having played the full game, so you play through a bit, you have to make a choice after, there's 3 kingdoms. Do you want to go to S-Frost or Hyzant to kind of improve relations? I chose Hyzant.
Do you want to go to Snow or Sand?
Snow or Sand. Yeah. I chose Sand. Other two chose Snow. And I mainly chose Sand because they were the ones that were not talked about as much in the beginning of the game. You're like, hey, they have salt.
And I wanted to go see my fiance's homeland. So
She was not happy about it, but I wanted to go see it.
she did not want to see her homeland.
Yeah, that also
Yeah,
told
I
me
did.
quite a bit about S Frost. Just like you go into the decision, and she's like, I don't want to go home, and I was like, I know that feeling, bro. Okay, we're going to the desert.
Most of my choices involved Roland's my boy. I will fucking go to the ends of the earth with this fucking guy.
Oh, you really had trouble at the end of the game, then, didn't you?
Yes, I did, because I got fucked for that.
At a certain point, all my decisions were what Frederica wants me to do.
It was Roland and Frederica for the most part were what I would choose, and fucking any choice that Benedict brought to the table. Nope, fuck you.
Always do the opposite of what.
Also, Gila always voted against me because she's a bitch. And voted against me for fucking spite. I know it. She's like, I don't want to do this choice. Why, Gila? I don't have a reason. I just don't like your haircut. I'm like, okay, Gila, whatever, dude.
Yeah, I will say that the voting system was an interesting way to do it because you don't even have a vote. Like,
oh no, as a political system, it's the worst thing ever.
It's horrible. You're
Lord,
basically the
but
Lord.
I allow you to vote. But I don't get to vote, but I get to tell you what I think you should vote.
I'm sorry, Pridge, influence your decisions, thank you.
No, I get to tell you what I think you should vote.
Yeah.
And one of them is literally dealing with, hey, should we turn you over? And he gets to vote if he wants to get turned over himself. Which, he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go. What are you doing, Roland?
Friends are like, that makes sense, my lord, or you're an idiot, my lord.
Yeah.
So at the turn Roland over to the baddies or keep Roland on the team.
Your kingdom gets invaded and fucked up, and they basically say, hey, you're holding the prince, give us back or we'll come and attack you.
Yeah.
And your decisions are to give him the old middle finger and fight him back, or to give up your friend.
Yep. And we all gave him the middle finger because, you don't give up your friend. They were going to murder his ass.
On my second playthrough, I gave him up and everything just sucks. Everything just sucks.
So assuming you keep Roland, your next decision is whether to go with House Silvio or not. And House Silvio, you got the three houses. Silvio, they're kind of asshats. They're playing both sides.
Silvio Talia's a piece of shit.
I was like, yo, this is an ambush. I'm not going with you.
I absolutely did not.
Yeah, if they told you basically Silvio was an asshole, I wish it was between the two of them and they made it a little harder, which is what I wish they did. The other little feudal lord guy, that's what I wish the choice was.
I do wish it was a little more of a choice than just, hey, do you want to go with like this clear asshat? And everyone's like,
he will betray us. Yeah, I was like, no. I'm not going.
And they're like, oh, good job. He was going to betray you because he does anyway. I'm like, yeah, thanks. I knew because you showed me cutscenes telling me that he was an asshole.
Yeah, that one's one of the easiest choices in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, because immediately after you say no, you won't fight with him, he tries to murder you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. The next one is whether you report Minister Sorley from Hyzant's
I like this one.
Salt stealing actions, which I forgot how early this was in the game. I thought this was much later. I reported him.
I reported him because it also depends if you like hate Sorsley too.
Once again, much like Silvio Talia, you're supposed to hate Sorsley.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, well, I'm gonna turn this guy in because that sounds fun as fuck.
He's a dick. At this point, did not realize how much of a dick Hyzant was.
Yeah,
which is saying something because at this point I knew they had slaves.
It's saying something because I like Bifrost more than Hyzant the entire game, and they slaughtered Roland's family. So that goes to say how bad Hyzant was.
Yeah. When I'm favoring the war-hungry warlord, it must mean the other person really sucks.
Yeah.
Which again, I know we keep mentioning it. We'll get there at the end of why that choice made it really easy.
So the next one wasn't so much of a choice. It was whether you got enough information or not, which I did not get enough.
I did not.
Okay, so How the fuck? Okay, I'll have to look
I'm
that
pretty
up.
sure you have to do it repeated playthroughs or so. I don't know, man. I thought I talked to everybody.
There was something about like being able to sneak into his house, but like
I couldn't do it.
couldn't do it either.
So I wonder if there was like some order you could talk to people, you can get them to like go into his house.
That's probably it. But basically, yeah, there's if you get enough information, you can go into Sorsley House, get the evidence, and not have to do.
I don't know what happened, but
I don't know exactly what happened.
If you don't have enough evidence, you can still try and accuse him, and you end up fighting him.
And then,
which is hilarious because you fight him anyway, and that's how they do justice. And I like how he's like, this isn't fair. I was like, yeah, that's really not. Actually, I'm with you, but I get to slaughter you, so it's fine. I was like, literally, you're dead. This is like literally sentencing you to death.
Well, I thought like when they let into it, I was like, oh, it's 1-on-1. I'll just murder this fool. I fought him once already. He was a piece of shit. And then like they're like, oh no, you get your retainers. And I was like, oh, I mean, I'm gonna murder you more thou, but I'm a little disappointed.
Really finally give you a 1-on-1 fight against Sorsley
with his sleep fucking edge or whatever.
Just delay strike him over and over again.
Yeah.
He just never gets a turn.
Yeah, he just never has a turn. You just keep delaying him.
The next one is an actual choice. So this one is,
Sylvia's back. Well, not yet.
Yeah. Not yet. So this one is you come back from Hyzant, and you're basically given the option to turn over the Roselle to Hyzant or not.
You literally get to decide should you send people to slavery or not.
And not to make it even worse, do you send your fiance's people into slavery or not? I'm just gonna assume we all chose no on that one.
Yep.
Absolutely chose no.
I'm pretty sure Gila voted yes to that. So Gila, you got some explaining to do.
I'm surprised Frederica didn't slit Gila's fucking throat in her sleep after that vote. It's like, you've been my retainer and friend for like a decade.
And mentor,
and you chose to sell my people into slavery, you frigid bitch.
Also, the big thing about that choice that makes it even easier, even if you didn't agree with the slavery part, your dad before you stopped them from. He's the one who led them there in the first place. So you had that going for you.
Yeah,
they were still in.
Yeah, Frederica's mom led them, but your father was the one who gave them sanctuary.
And they were still in your territory. Like you're obligated to protect them. I have no idea why you would willingly not choose to do that.
I mean, it was
the one thing I do like is I mean, again, assuming your dad and you have to make the right choices is very like, I don't care where they're from. They're in my territory. They're my people.
Yeah.
Step to them and I fuck you up.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like every time there was something with the Roselle, I'm like, I'm fucking you up if you touch them. Like, get the fuck away from them.
Yeah. It'll come back later. It's a theme.
Yeah.
So the next decision is a 3-way decision.
Yeah.
So this is, we fought off Hyzant or convinced them not to fight us, whatever. Now we're going to go retake Castle Westbrook. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Whiteholm Castle.
Whiteholm Castle, sorry.
Also, in between there, Hyzant makes you one of its religious ministers.
Yeah,
that was weird.
For some reason.
That was weird.
You're saintly 7, dude. Even though you have no clue what the hell's going on there.
Even though
you don't believe in their religion.
And won't let them take you people away.
Yeah, you're a non-believer. Yeah.
They still make you part of their order, which is weird.
That was... That was probably
you're Minister of Salt now, though.
Story-wise, that was story decision number 3 after one we'll get to, and Maxwell, as to like, wow, this doesn't really make sense to me why they did this.
Maxwell says because you can get him after you already made the decision to go on the final route, and Roland might not be there. They couldn't have anybody in the cutscene, Frederica or Benedict.
Have it split based on whether you have Roland or not, okay?
I know, yeah.
It just makes zero sense if you have Roland in your party and Maxwell shows up. Because, hey, spoilers, in the spoilers section, you don't know that you lose Roland necessarily. You don't. So I was like, wow, that was really fucking weird. Okay. You can give him up to the... to the people like for just doing a New Game Plus.
That's brutal. Yep. Poor guy.
So this one, it's...
Yeah, but in Chapter 13, they basically give you a magic explosive, and you can decide how to use it to take back your kingdom.
So I think I did this...
flood the city, dude.
I didn't flood the city. That's fucked up. Yeah, I guess the options are
it's Benedict's idea, so you know it's fucked up.
the options are blow up a dam and flood the city with all the people in it.
The best part about that thing is somebody's like, hey, this could cause irreparable damage, but it might be worth it in a short time. I'm like, fuck no, you idiots. Like, just fucking, I'd rather die trying the other way than like, let's just make everybody in the town hate us, even if we succeed. Like, what?
And
Good job, Benedict.
Let's see. The other one was blow up the bridge and then blow up the boat. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, blow up the bridge, blow up the ships. My
That's in
lord,
zero.
have you considered performing a war crime?
I will try my level best to level the city with water.
Try my level best to commit war crimes.
Yes.
I will try my level best, and by level I mean I'll bring out a level and put it in the city. And if it ain't level, we killing some folk.
Go ahead, David.
I was gonna say I went blow up the boat, and then try and kill the captains.
I went Assassination City. Yeah, Roland wanted to do it. I was down with the clown.
That was the boat, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that, but couldn't convince people, so I blew up the bridge.
Oh, okay.
My liberty was not high enough, so I had to go the morality.
Okay, so this is where we're getting to parts where I'm really curious what happens. So Pridge, for Jason and I, we fought the prime, not the prime. So we fought the prime minister, the twins.
The
shitter twins, and killed them. They're dead.
One guy's name is actually Phallus. Like, just I know it's not Phallus, it's Phallus, but
it's
I call him Phallus.
But it's Phallus.
Yeah,
because he's a dick.
Yeah, he was.
And what's the girl's name? Begins
Erica.
With Erica. Yeah. So we fought Phallus and Erica, murdered them, blew up the boat.
At the boat.
So Phallus was on the boat. Okay. Erica was coming to the boat.
Oh, I instantly lost as soon as she came in the first time. I was like, oh, wait, she spawns behind me? Well, I fucking lose.
That was one of those ones where I just barely eked by with a few characters.
I fucking got torched. I got pincered, but I was going to take this guy on. And then I got
it might be a normal versus hard mode thing. If you don't go on to the ship, Phallus doesn't come off the ship to save his sister. He just leaves her to fucking die.
He didn't the second time I did it.
No, he didn't move, so that's what I did and how I got through is I hadn't gone onto the ship yet. So when Erica showed up, I just turned on Erica, and it was still rough because that was a fuckload of people that just show up out of nowhere.
So you fight them on the boat. Then do you fight Avlora in the next level?
Nope.
Oh, I did.
Oh, yeah, we fight Avlora.
Yeah. You go into the castle and then you fight Avlora. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And that was probably one of the hardest fights for me. That was our top 3. That was
the one I tuned into your stream for, and I was like, "Oh, this looks rough."
I don't even know how I beat it because she was I lost by 37 damage at one point. I was so mad. She had 37 HP. I barely didn't kill her.
So if you blow up the bridge, you fight Phallus and Erica on the bridge.
Okay.
Before or after you blow it up?
Before.
Okay.
You're trying to set up the explosive and they jump you. And it sucks because it's just the bridge and one's on either side.
Wow.
Okay, that's rough.
That's rough. So I saw whatever one had. So I think Phallus appears on one side with a bunch of like healers and tanks.
Yep.
And Erica appears on the other with a bunch of damage units.
Yep.
So I just rushed towards the damage units and tried to kill the mages as quickly as possible while the other ones tried to catch up because, again, obviously the armor guys move slowly and the healers don't do anything and there's no one damaged. So I rushed down the damaging ones and then once enough of them were dead, turned back to finish the others and then killed the shitters. And then if you do that one, Avlora escapes with Cordelia on a boat and you fight them on a boat.
Oh.
Well, actually, you fight them on your own boat, and you use a zip line to go to the other boat.
Yeah, you said zip lines earlier. I never used a zip line this whole fucking game.
I was in a fucking courtyard, and I was like, I'm gonna get my fucking shit rocked.
It's interesting because you can only kind of send one person at a time, so you have to be very careful not to send one person over who just can't
send a squishy.
who just gets murdered by Avlora in one hit.
Yeah, so you fight in the other route. You fight Avlora in the fountain area from earlier in the game.
God.
Okay.
And I lured Avlora and all her people into the fountain, and then I had Narv just spam Spark.
I would spark her, but she wouldn't take any damage.
Oh no, she didn't get paralyzed, and she wouldn't take damage. So I was hitting her with Spark and then damaging the other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was rough. That level was fucking hard.
So fucking
That level was
hard.
fucking hard, even on normal. Okay, so none of us, predictably, none of us fucking leveled the city.
Don't worry, when I go my full utility route next playthrough, I got you. That city's going down, Benedict.
City's getting wrecked.
We're making it slippery, baby.
We'll turn it into a water park.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the citizens of Glenbrook
Glenbrook Water Park, yeah.
Oh god. Okay, so the next one is you've reclaimed the capital. You're trying to figure out what you want to do next. There's some Hyzant people going to fuck up the Rosellan village. I forget what else is happening.
He says bandits.
Bandits hired by.
It's help Roland get rid of the the royalists.
Yes.
Who deserve to die.
Who are shitheads and should die.
They are
yes.
shitheads, yeah.
It's that, or visit your dad, or help go to the Rosellan village to save them from bandits.
The visit your dad seems like such a bad story because, like, I'm like, okay, if he's like healthy as they say, like Benedict can like bring him up to speed. This is more priority for the other things. So
yeah,
the other two seem more plausible.
The two definitely.
I went to the Rosellan village, which is where you fight Silvio again, right?
No, you fight the twins.
Oh, that's Travis. That's true. That's right.
No, you fight Silvio. You go there twice, right?
No, that's earlier. You kill Silvio. Silvio's already dead by then.
Oh yeah, it's Silvio. Sorry, that was the Hyzant thing earlier. When you go to the Rosellan village, was Hyzant had hired Silvio to go.
That fight was really hard too because there's two bosses.
Yes, that fight was also very hard. I had to that was one of the few normal ones that I had to retry like once or twice.
I tried to go to help Roland because it's supposed to be the Roland playthrough, and I was going to help him kill the royalists. That seemed fucking awesome because they've been a pain in my ass the entire time. And I was like, okay, they can take care of the bandits. But I couldn't because it was Jello. I was like, oh, well, I have no yellow. And no one wants to go. I couldn't convince, like, fucking Gila. It wasn't Gila. I forget who wanted to go with, like, stay there. But, oh, no, it was Gila, I think.
I was going to say, it probably was Gila because you said she went against you on, like, every single fucking vote.
She did, yeah. The Rosellan village, I think, was... I don't remember who it was, but that's the one I could get. And then if I didn't do that, then they would have all voted to visit my dad, Eridor, Anna, and Benedict. I'm like, guys, we're going to my wife's village.
It's like these other two feel far more urgent than visit dad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
Granted, I will say the Rosellan village is right past your fucking castle.
Yes. Yeah.
You probably could have stopped.
You probably could have stopped and said hi. Like you could have stopped and said hi. I would have felt better if it was like go directly to the Rosellan village or like stop. And then like if you stop, something happens and then you can't go to the Rosellan village because you have to fight an assassin, presumably, because your dad's dead. Which you learn no matter which route. It's not really a spoiler beyond.
You learn a lot,
all went to the Rosellan village. Yeah. And from here, there is a fourth route on my War Chronicle that I did not unlock. Like the go to Rosellan village splits. So I went to the Rosellan village.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, yeah, because obviously if you deliver them to Hyzant earlier, that would not be an option.
Oh. So if you deliver the bandits. Or no, they deliver the Rosellan.
If you deliver the Rosellan to Hyzant earlier...
Well, no, because this fork is on the go to Rosella side, right?
I assume it's the same thing, but I assume they're just looking for something there, and you're going to stop them from pillaging it.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's some slight difference that still involves going to Rosellan village.
I was going to say this is probably the true ending thing, where there's like a slight difference based on a choice.
I don't think this one's the true ending.
I feel like it's part of the true ending.
I think it's part of it. Yeah.
Okay. Because then the only other choice left in the game is the big one.
Madsen Zero says the visit is different if you deliver them to Hyzant.
I mean,
that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said.
I just figured that wouldn't be an option because you fucking murked them. So I guess it's different. Okay. I guess you just visit for some fucking reason. Okay. All right. So we all went to the Rosellan village.
Yes.
Murked Travis and Trish. Trish joined your party.
Yep. Yeah. Trish joined my party.
She's fine.
She's okay.
I didn't think she was good or bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that if you have a bunch of other archers, she doesn't really do anything. The other ones don't.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to get the
she has some cool movement stuff.
Yeah, I want to try and get in my own mads before I spoil how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, with
Thanks for the
that,
offer, though. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and get it on my own.
with that, we're into the last decision of the game, which also has 4, one of which being probably the one that none of us unlocked for the true ending.
One of those ones has to be
Unless
the true
the
ending.
true ending was an option to me and I didn't choose it, which is also possible.
I don't think.
No, I'm pretty sure there's got to be one where you can choose one of the 3 options.
I'll go over my choices first. So my choices were Roland was like, hey, you know what? Let's just give the whole fucking kingdom of Glenbrook to Hyzant because they're all about equality. And I'm like, bitch, they're about equality as early America, where we're like, equality's in our fucking Declaration of Independence, but also we have slaves. So I was like, no, Roland, you're a fuck.
Very weird, like
it's not in character change. It's not in character at all for him, unless you say he's like in despair horizon when he makes this decision, because he saw the slaves himself. He saw how bad it was, and he also defends the Rosellian all the way up until that point. It makes no sense. They screw him
this
over.
was the number one on my thing choices in this game that don't make sense.
They needed a third choice, so like I get it, but like they handled it. He should have said like something different about he shouldn't have said I don't care about the slaves. They needed to word it better. This is where I feel like the voice acting would have been really useful too, of like if Roland was just so overcome with hatred, because that is what it felt like, of like he had so much hatred for Esfrost that he would ally with anyone, even if they have slaves, which is what I feel like they were going for, but they didn't.
What they're going for is what Mad said. He's lost complete faith in himself.
Yeah, but they needed to not mention the slave. They should have mentioned something like he doesn't agree with the slave thing no matter what. He kind of just brushed it under in like one dialogue. He's like, I don't really care, or like they're like one small thing.
And I feel like emphasizing that lack of faith in himself and hatred of Esfrost was important too, and they didn't really succeed in that.
And that's why it's the least popular choice by far when you look it up.
I will admit,
do they have stats on it? Can we look?
Yes, it's easily the least popular choice. It makes sense. It's in my opinion poorly done for him.
It's not great. I will admit though, replaying early in the game, there are several dialogues where he mentions how much he admires Hyzant's.
There are,
yeah, I get it, but like
to equality.
You've seen how shitty Hyzant is up until
right.
I was gonna say the first visit to Hyzant does show that, but then the subsequent visits to Hyzant refute it later, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Right,
he's not cool with it.
Weird. He suddenly is like, nope, I'm cool with slavery now.
It's okay. I couldn't convince anybody to do that route because it was yellow and I wanted to. But it was supposed to be the Roland playthrough, so that one was really hurt. It hurt me a lot to see him pick that one as his choice.
Yeah.
So my other option was to join up with Esfrost, who we've been at war with for a long time, and they're assholes, but they're not quite the religious salt assholes that Hyzant are. And man,
they're not racist.
They're religious racist assholes. Let me tell you, folks. If an RPG is made in Japan,
religion's bad,
and has religion in it, a religious faction specifically, if it's just religion, that's not necessarily bad. If it's a religious faction, they're bad. Guaranteed, 100%.
If there is a church and it has any sort of power, it's evil.
Bad,
it's evil. In
guaranteed evil.
Any Japanese role-playing game, any single one, it's evil. Doesn't matter.
David, how many Tales games have evil churches? Isn't all of them? Is every Tales game have an evil church?
Going back and playing the old ones, it's not all of them.
Okay, that's fair.
Because some of them don't have churches.
Okay, that's fair.
But I think it's every single one that has a church. It's evil.
I know it's Symphonia, Abyss, Bessaria.
3 houses too.
King Darabon, even 3 houses. Absolutely 3 houses.
Yeah, the church is also pretty messed up in that game too.
Pretty fucked up. I not necessarily outright evil, but evil.
In 3 houses, it's much more
complicated.
Yeah. The leader's evil. The church objectively does do some good things, though. At least
you could argue the same for Tales of Symphonia too, but
That's true as well.
And a lot, you could argue that for a lot of the JRPGs, like the members of the church aren't necessarily bad,
Yeah.
but the leadership is absolutely corrupt, evil, doing racist shit on the side every single time.
Corrupt or doing something.
Anyone
that
who's
is
wearing,
very,
if they're wearing a pope hat, they're trying to murder you, guaranteed.
Yep.
Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance. The church is bad. The Senate.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Benyon Senate / church is bad. So.
And they're racist. They're racist.
They're racist
every
yeah.
single time. Japan doesn't like the church.
No.
Something about all those Christian missionaries back in their history really rubbed them the wrong way.
Might have to do with the crucifixions. Moving on. Let's talk about the third option that I had, and I'm curious if it was the same one as you all.
Yeah.
It was basically fuck the war, free the Roselle slaves, and let's get on a boat and go to Centralia, this rumored continent to the south.
The best option?
That was the option.
Lead a slave revolt and then peace the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's a fucking baller move.
Yeah, it is a baller move.
It is a baller move. So those are the three options we all had.
And my wife wants it? Are you kidding me? Hell yeah.
Okay. So which choice did you two make? None of us chose or were unable to choose Roland's option.
I would not have chosen it. I was disgusted by it.
Yeah, no, I obviously chose to leave a slave revolt. I obviously chose to leave a slave revolt.
It was metal as fuck. The reason I didn't choose Benedict's is because I was like, okay, dude, I get it, but like we're not gonna be able to like we're just pushing this problem off to another time. Like we can free them now. So
well, and see I chose Benedict's for the reason of like, if I go fuck up Hyzant and become king of fucking Norzelia, day 0, the Roselle are free. Why would I not choose this option?
I always thought my big thing was there's nothing stopping from Aphrost from just using us to kill them and then killing us immediately because they're so much stronger than us. So I was like, okay,
I didn't feel like they were that much stronger than us too.
And a huge cannon, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, which was on our side. We could blow that fucker up.
Okay.
I was gonna guess. Do you get Svarog on your side and use the cannon?
Yes, you get Svarog on your side and use the cannon.
I was gonna say I expected that.
And you blow up the wall, and then you go fight. And I guess if we're talking full spoilers, so Edor at the end. So you break through the wall, you kill a couple of their saints before you kill a bunch of saints before you even get through the wall.
Don't worry. We do the same thing.
You kill a bunch of saints before you even get through the wall. I think it's Tenebris and X-Arm you murder.
That's interesting.
Oh wow, yeah,
X-Arm dead as fuck.
Okay.
And then Svarog helps you blow up the wall. Svarog uses his military to fight off the remains of a lot of the Hyzant military with a couple more of their saints. He kills the cool one whose name I can't remember, who has a good voice.
Gamcell.
He kills that dude and one of the other saints who also I don't remember because they
Lila.
Yeah.
Sorry, he captures Lila. He doesn't kill Lila.
Okay.
Captures Lila. You go in, and turns out that the Hierophant of Hyzant doesn't really exist. Shocker. I had predicted this on like chapter 5 after I went to fucking Hyzant.
Yeah, everyone did.
I wanted to be a Rosellan in there in the tent.
I also wanted that.
Hilarious.
I wanted that, but it wasn't.
I thought it was either going to be like a 6-year-old or no one.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a really like self-hating Rosellan.
Yeah.
Because I think that could have been interesting. Also, like probably more racist than they should have done it. But like, it was it was instead an automaton that they had been working on, which is why I was very shocked that you brought up an automaton earlier. And I was like, wait, can't talk about this yet. We're in the non-spoiler section.
No, you can get one on your team.
So it's an automaton who can create other automatons. So you're basically fighting a bunch of puppets. And let me tell you, that automaton's kind of fucking busted. All of her servants explode when you kill them. So all of your melee units get fucking wrecked.
Yeah, that would have hurt me. Yeah.
Which is how that was the one I ended with like 1 or 2 people. It was basically Sarah Noah and Anna at the end just stabbing and backstabbing the automaton to get like the win, and like half the people were still alive. I just only had to kill the boss. But yeah, like you kill them, you Roland goes off and becomes basically a monk who's trying to like help the less fortunate in the kingdom.
No, he leaves your party, I assume, right?
Yeah, no, he leaves your party as soon as you make the decision. He's gone.
Yes.
Which is a bummer. Frederica does, however, stay with your party if you choose the Hyzant route. She doesn't just peace out. So you do that. Edor gets away, unfortunately. Motherfucker just pieces out. He doesn't die. He actually is helping Roland, not helping, probably being using Roland at the end to kind of like stay relevant. Yeah, it's a little fucked up. And then you become king of all Norzelia in the epilogue. Like, I think it skips ahead a couple years, and that's when like this monk stuff and Edor.
What happens to Gustadolf?
Gustadolf is just alive and kind of cool with you.
That's weird. Okay.
That's really good ending, actually.
He allies with you and doesn't kill Svarog if you go the Hyzant route.
Interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, it was very like surprising. I believe. I'm trying to think. They get rid of the Roselle slavery thing because, like, duh. Also, one thing we have totally skipped this whole time is there's a mine in the beginning of the game that sparks this whole fucking conflict.
I'm so mad about that. That's the weakest story point for me. You know that Dragon's hiding something, and you don't go back and check it out. Also, on mission 6. I'm like, come on,
not even that.
Check that out.
Not even that. That wasn't the part that bugged me so much because you trusted him. I was like, bitch, this is salt. At chapter 4, actually, whatever chapter they introduced the mine at, I was like, this mine has salt in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it takes fucking 20 chapters for them to be like, yes, the mine did indeed have salt in it. It destroys the balance. And I was like, this took
they were already
way too long.
At the end. Gustadolf was already siphoning it out.
Yeah,
anyway.
it just took way too long to get to the like big reveal that I was like, I knew this literally at the beginning of the game. You took way too long on it. But yeah, I'm curious how the fuck off to Centralia route goes.
Oh my god!
So you bust. So basically, first you decide to bust in and steal some magic explosives.
Pridge, allow me first. First, Benedict goes all fucking Snape, gets salty as fuck. Right. I know, like, Rowan probably does the same thing, but Benedict was so funny. He's like, you're fucking stupid as shit.
Sorry, I skipped a thing.
It doesn't exist.
I skipped a thing. You duel Roland.
You duel Benedict.
Yeah.
Benedict can't 1v1. All of his abilities are support. What a piece of shit.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you kick his ass. Benedict gets mad fucking salty, and it's so funny. His dialogue is so good. He's like, you're fucking stupid. This doesn't exist. What are you fucking doing?
Yeah, he literally says, I will protect House Wolford even if I have to stab you to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, Roland's is much more of like, prove to me that you're good enough to be king. Like, beat me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Benedict gets pissed that you're sacrificing your house because obviously Benedict really wanted to fuck your mom.
And if Roland also gets really mad and is like, hey, like, the assholes you want to ally with killed my family. And you're like, I know, technically also my family, but like, this is the better route to go.
Benedict lays in. He's like, so you're taking advice from a girl you just met like a week ago, you piece of shit. And I was like, if you offend my life one more time, you son of a bitch.
So do you kill him or do you duel and then he leaves?
No, he says kill me and you go no. If I run away to Roselle, you're in charge of the house.
Yeah, same thing happens with Roland. Does he take any of your other allies with you? Okay.
No.
Huette almost leaves when you choose the other route because Roland leaves. And there's like a nice cutscene and all. And I will say the X-Arm fight too, when you beat him, he's like, oh, like, kill me, I don't deserve to be alive anymore. And you're like, nah, and then he bleeds out anyway. So I'm like, okay, we probably should have just killed him. What the fuck?
All right, now Pridge, go ahead. Sorry.
First you decide you're going to blow up the statue of the goddess in the source and then blow up all of Hyzant's boats so you can escape. So first you go to steal some Aelfric and you learn what it's made of. Spoiler alert, it's dead Roselle.
Yeah, which is fucked up.
I mean, that's not that shocking, but also shocking.
And then Riven tries to stop you from breaking out.
Wait, who's Riven?
Lila's like, hey, don't steal my stuff. And we're like, no, we're going to do it. So you stab Lila,
Hardest mission in the game, by the way, by far.
Yeah, really tough mission. You're back into a corner with no escape routes.
You die, and her abilities, Lila's ability can time stop, and you have to skip your turn for like 2 turns.
Oh, yeah, I think the automaton has that too when I fought it.
I was like, I legitimately just fucking lose unless I throw Piccoletta's clone in here and she uses it on that instead. So.
Yeah, so you kill Lila and feel, I don't know, kind of bad about it. Maybe I didn't, but whatever. Then you go to the source. Frederica gives a big moving speech. They're like, do we really want to rebel?
Yeah, do we care? Yeah.
And then Camsel shows up and says, no, you don't want to rebel because I'm going to murder you. And then obviously you murder Camsel.
Yeah.
And again, I almost feel bad about that, but not really.
Yeah. You feel bad about it more for the voice actor than the character.
Yeah, exactly. So you blow up the statue, and then the Roselle like, wow, you not only did you blew up the statue and killed one of the saints. Yeah, fuck it, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So you peace out. You make it all the way to the bridge to Centralia. You think you're gonna get away.
Oh my god.
And then apparently Isidore had a bunch of automaton horses.
Yeah.
That he rode super fast to catch up with you.
Yep.
So then you have to fight a final mission where you have to escort 3 Roselle to safety and then kill Isidore.
Yes.
And he can speed up his entire team.
Yes,
which is very annoying.
Yeah, he's got a huge wind magic. I can shoot down the entire bridge too.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like that is the harder route in terms of level.
So
that was the easiest mission out of the 3.
Oh,
Camsel and Lila.
No, I thought Camsel's was the easiest of the 3 for me.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so you fight him, you beat him, but then he basically
goes fucking Super Saiyan.
No, truthfully, he goes suicide bomber on you.
Yeah.
He's like, I have a bunch of Alfric and I'm going to blow myself up and you too. And Sarah Noah goes to stop him and dies.
Yeah, he literally fucking dies.
Oh,
fuck.
Just
blows up, yeah.
Yeah, Sarah Noah dies stopping Isidore from blowing everyone up.
Okay, so I'm guessing the true ending you choose that route and that doesn't happen. That must be the true. That has to be the true ending.
Again, I thought the true ending is going to be some like combination of the 3. It's going to be some like it's none of the 3, but the best of the 3.
Beating both of the big leaders too.
Yeah. So the epilogue. Yeah, Jason, do you want to explain the epilogue?
The epilogue is you make it to Centralia and they live out their things there, and all your companions live there too. But I guess you just remember Sarah Noah off. Like, I don't remember what else about it. Pridge, am I missing?
Benedict has become Gustav's spy.
Benedict, that's it. Yeah, that ending. Okay, yeah.
Oh, Benedict.
Now Benedict works for Gustav, yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but Benedict.
It's also, I mean, in one part, it's a very happy epilogue because it literally is like the Roselle live happily ever after with all your companions. But it literally says, yeah, Norzelia stayed at war forever.
Yeah. It says that you left and it was like burnt to the ground, essentially. So,
I mean,
you left.
That makes sense based on where it was at before that chapter's decision.
Because Exharm and Tenebris survive, and Gustav survives.
Yeah.
Gustav is using Benedict to assassinate Svarog, and it literally just says, and they all had a lot of war for a really long time. But you and the Roselle are fucking doing great.
Correct. Yeah, it's super good in that regard.
It's very funny. It's sad because Sarah Noah dies, and the fact that you literally leave a country as a war-torn hellhole. But it's very funny that you straight up just peace out.
Getting the green Roselle across is also fucking annoying too, by the way.
Yeah, because one of them's an old guy who moves like two squares at a time.
But
is it the elder from before? Oh no, it's because it's from the. Oh, is it? He went with you to break out the Roselle.
Yeah, it's Lee from Walking, not from the Village. It was Lee from Walking Dead, dude. Lee. That's who voices that guy, the elder.
Man, they straight up murk Sarah Noah. Okay, I didn't expect that.
It's very heroic, but very sad.
My headcanon is Roland's with Frederica at the end because he's like fishing and he's having a good time. He's probably not, but I mean that's my headcanon.
Did either of you have like a game over from a choice you made earlier in the game?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So I did too. Was it the Roselle Village?
Yes. I turn in the mirror and he's like, nope, that's just the mirror.
Yeah, I turn in the fucking mirror and they go, well, you died.
Okay, it
they
was
literally
the same.
swarmed me and killed me. They're like, that's not enough.
It was. I turned in the mirror. I turned in the pelt, and they were like, "Do you have anything else?" And I was like, should I?
Yeah, I was like, am I supposed to?
Yeah.
And they're like,
And
you're
the answer
dead.
was yes, I was
Yes.
supposed to.
Yeah, I think that was one of the more annoying, like, talk to people mechanics, was like you had to talk to people in a certain order
Yeah,
to get the elder to leave.
I think that's what you have to do to get all the evidence against Sorcely.
I think you're probably right. I just didn't know that was a thing, because that only happens once or twice.
Right, exactly, but it only happens like 2 times.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I talked to everyone, like I did every other like exploration phase. I can't find anything. There must have been something else I didn't do early in the game or something, or a choice I made. And it's like, oh no, you just had to talk to the elder and then Frederica and then the elder and then Frederica again, or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, well, cool, I guess.
And you find Salt.
Yes.
Which I knew existed for 20 chapters before.
It's all Salt, baby.
It's all salt, baby. Yeah, I will say, like, narratively, I thought for most of the characters they did a really good job, minus Roland right at the end. And like the Maxwell Roland relationship. I'm a little surprised Elvira didn't show up again.
Avora? I think
Avlora.
Elvora, sorry. I guess she fell into the river and actually died, compared to Maxwell, who didn't die.
No, I'm gonna bet $20 she shows up in the true ending.
Yeah.
I would bet actual money she shows up in the true ending.
If Roland did the same thing, she's gonna do the same thing.
Or maybe if you choose the Roland route because you go back to Esfrost, maybe she shows up.
Something.
Or wait, no, you go to Hyzant. You probably fight her or something.
She's not dead. There's no way. The way they put her in the river like that.
She seemed again. They showed Maxwell jumping into the water and a pool of blood. Avlor, she just ditches. They don't even like try and make you think she's dead. So I doubt they kill her off there. Also, again, I don't feel sympathy for her, but they kind of write her where you're supposed to.
I just
like, nah, you suck.
With Cordelia, yeah.
I'm like relatively sympathetic towards her like sense of honor, but not like to the point where I'm gonna spare you.
I'm like I get it. You grew up an orphan. This is like the only time you've had power, so you have this sort of like you very much have a might makes right mentality, but you still kind of suck.
Yep, pretty much. I'm like, I don't hate her like I do Gustadolf and the fucking douchebag twins, but like,
wait,
I don't like her.
Do you hate what's that guy's name? Lionel. Lionel is my char.
You know what? I actually think Lionel is when I switched to Japanese.
That's Lee. That's Lee, though, dude. How dare you?
Oh, also Jason.
Clementine.
Jason, were you surprised that the one fucking merchant dude totally had your back?
Yeah, I think he's gonna betray us in a different route.
Oh,
for sure.
Oh, yeah, you kill him.
Claris was helped us on our route.
You murder him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously? On that route? He helps you sneak into Hyzant and literally draws the guards, and he kills a guard and draws the attention to help you sneak in. He goes pure good guy, kind of out of nowhere.
In the route I chose, I kind of sped past this bit as to when you kill like Tenebris and X-Harm. I guess you don't specifically kill Tenebris, you kill Claris. But basically, Benedict sends a letter from Roland with the royal signet on it, like in Roland's name, because he had left the party. So he sends them a letter that's basically like, hey, if you ride out and attack Serenoa, I will attack him from behind and will crush him. So Claris gets that letter, takes it to Tenebris, and then I think Tenebris tells Claris he should ride out. And
he's a merchant. Why would he fight?
Well, yeah, I'm getting to that. If he rides out and is able to win, he'll become the Saintly Seven of Salt when Serenoa's dead. So he'll take over that role. So Claris comes out thinking that Roland's going to back him up, and then you just mark Claris. Nice. He dies, and then X-Harm comes as like a second wave, and then you kill X-Harm. And then the cannon fire stuff. Yeah, basically, you pull people out of the city so that you don't get murked by their army that can beat both you and Esfrost.
Also, I don't think we ever brought up the elephant in the room. There's only 6 members of the Saintly Seven.
No, the Hierophant's one of them.
See, but they always say the Hierophant oversees the Saintly Seven, which always makes me thought he was like a step above them. But
that's what I always thought too. But,
I was with you.
So I guess he's supposed to be considered, even though he's in charge of them, he's a member of them.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense to me. They should have just added a seventh character.
I'm with you, Pridge. Or at least just made it more clear that he was...
Yeah, I'll call it the Minister of being a douchebag. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, you played a Fire Emblem game. They always have their fucking groups of generals.
Yeah, of course. I've watched an anime. They always have groups. Yeah, they always got the groups. Always have cool numbered groups.
But they'll be like, hey, this is the group, and this is the leader of the group, who is a member of the group. Whereas the Hierophant was like the king.
Right.
And it didn't feel like they were part of the Saintly Seven.
I can only talk to one member of the Saintly Seven, and I control them, but I'm also
And also,
a
if you pick the Hyzant group, that also doesn't exist, so you're still technically right, Pridge. Where was the seven? Because I believe they make it pretty clear, too, that like the automaton is relatively new. Like, that was the project that Lila was working on earlier in the game, was powering the automaton with the S-Frost stuff.
Okay.
Like they clear that piece up. So it's like even before then there wasn't a Hierophant. Like it wasn't, the automaton hasn't been there the whole time. There was just 6 anyway. So
man,
you're also right, Pridge.
They can't count there.
They can't. I was with you. I was like, where's the 7? In fact, half the time I was like, where's the 6?
I can't wait for him to introduce a 7th dude and just be like, yes, this is the little known minister of, I don't know,
impatience.
This is the minister of sand. As you can see, we have a lot of sand, so his job isn't really important.
He's very busy.
Oh, Madsen Zero in the chat says the Hierophant has always been part of the deal. It's rumored she fell ill 30 years ago. Yeah, and they just straight up didn't replace her. They're like, oh, okay, we'll just put an automaton there.
Just get a
30 years later.
I can't wait to see Roland's route.
Yeah, I want to see Roland's route, and
that's what I'm picking next.
I am gonna look up to see how I get to the true ending. Hopefully, there's like
I'm hoping there's
a spoiler-free route to get there without it telling you.
All y'all is gonna suck so much fucking.
Yeah, I'm gonna run out this. What I'm doing on New Game Plus, and then
probably true out.
Like.
I'm kind of glad.
I also save right before I made the decision to kick Roland to give up Roland, so I can always go back and start from there.
Yeah, I think I'll just use New Game Plus to get the true ending, and then I'll try out the other 2 just on that save I made.
Yeah.
Because I'm relatively sure I had enough to do Roland's route too. I don't think I could convince everyone, but I think I could convince enough people to do it. So yeah, I'm straight up kind of glad there isn't games releasing in the next couple months, so that I can come back and replay Triangle Strategy.
Some time to play this, play some Kirby, play this, then finish Tales of Arise and some stuff. So yeah, I will use this time to definitely get some more playthroughs out of this game, which I'm excited about.
Correct. Yes.
Heck yeah. Any closing thoughts on Triangle Strategy before we call it a night?
Not a great name for a game.
Horrible name for a game.
The name probably
absolute
really
garbage.
Hurt, I think.
Absolute garbage name for a game.
Bad name.
Salt Iron Wars would have probably been better.
And that's also a bad name.
And that's still not even a great name.
I will say,
Dragon's homies.
Iron, not important in this game. They mention the Salt Iron Wars, and no one seems to be crimped for iron.
They bring iron. We bring mediation. You fucking idiots.
We bring crops, all right? They only say it like one time, but Glenbrook is the only one with arable soil.
Also, did anyone see Lord Simon's picture the first time and go, oh no, he's way too cool and nice. He's definitely gonna die.
He's an anime dad. Wow, I wonder if he's gonna live.
I'm curious if you choose that other route if he dies too. Like maybe you can protect him.
Oh, you mean like the
yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting if you do go visit him, if you can somehow save him.
For him to just turn around and slap you upside the head for not going to save the Roselle.
What are you doing saving my life, you little brat?
You stupid piece of shit.
Yeah, but Milo was gonna follow me there too. Was another thing. I was like, I don't want to go with Milo. I mean, No.
Yeah, I bet you if you go there, she still kills him or something.
Yeah, probably. I'm assuming that's the assassin. But folks, that's going to do it for our Triangle Strategy review and spoiler cast. Hope you enjoyed. We certainly enjoyed Triangle Strategy and are going to continue to enjoy Triangle Strategy.
Yeah.
So if at this point you think this game sounds good and you didn't peace out before the spoiler part, yeah, go give that demo a shot. Go play some Triangle Strategy. It's a great game. And if you have played it, shoot us some thoughts in Discord or comments.
It probably will be strategy game of the year. I mean, I don't see much competition coming out that I know of. I don't know.
There's a couple indie games. That are like Fire Emblem-y coming. And Metal Slug Tactics is coming this year.
Fire Emblem, I don't think will come out this year.
No. There's that realistic-y looking Fire Emblem
that
game.
One? Yeah.
There's Metal Slug Tactics. I feel like there's another tactics game that I'm not thinking of.
Technically,
Advance Wars remake.
Advance Wars, technically, Floppy Knights. It's a card building tactics game, but it's still a tactics game.
Unless you want to count is that one Marvel game coming out too with the
Midnight Suns? If it's good,
come out this year, but that one I'm very skeptical about.
Yeah, I didn't like the card system announced on that. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see. They might pivot that. So, so I mean, it sounds like there's going to be strategy games. They're all going to be basically Final Fantasy Tactics games mixed with Fire Emblem from the sounds of it. Definite trend this year, but that's going to do it, folks. We will be back tomorrow, March 25th at 7:30 Eastern with some Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. I have no idea who's going to be on me with that one, but
I'm available and I'm going to try and play some of the game before it, so I think I'll be on.
I'll be playing a couple hours of Kirby. It looks like it's good, so I feel like I'm going to have a good time. Come join us. And then we'll be back on Monday with... We have to figure that out because I think Chris is unavailable on Monday. Or Jason is, one of the two.
Chris is unavailable, I believe.
So I don't think we have a plan yet. We'll have a Pokemon replacement promise.
Wait, no, Chris is there because we're trying to do the musical tier list on Monday.
Yeah, you're trying to do the musical tier list because then Jason has to miss the next
then I'm
2
gone.
Mondays.
Then I'm gone for 2 days.
So they don't want to start anything new Pokemon because
which might be a
2-week break.
Not for broadcast or I don't remember.
That's right. It might be the that's
not
for broadcast.
Or it's Sonic. It might be Sonic too. Yeah, something like that.
So we'll have some Pokemon alternatives, and it sounds like, assuming Wes can actually make Monday, we'll do the musical tier list. Stay tuned for the schedule on our Discord or Twitter or YouTube. We'll let you know what's coming. But I think that's going to do it. So, folks, have a wonderful night. See you next time.
Hi, everyone.
I will try my level best. Peace.